There's a type of fat in your body that's far more dangerous than the fat you can pinch. It wraps itself silently around your organs, your liver, pancreas, and intestines, and most people don't even know it's there. This is visceral fat, and when it starts to build up, it quietly disrupts almost every system in your body. Visceral fat isn't just stored energy, it behaves like an active organ. It releases inflammatory chemicals and hormones that interfere with insulin, raise cortisol, and increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and fatty liver. This is why someone can look normal weight but still struggle with poor health markers. Now, here's the part most people never hear. When visceral fat finally starts to reduce, your body begins to heal in ways you can actually feel. This isn't just about a smaller waistline, it's about internal recovery. The moment visceral fat starts shrinking, inflammation inside the body begins to calm down. Organs that were under constant pressure suddenly get space to function properly again. Insulin sensitivity improves, meaning your body becomes better at handling sugar instead of storing it as fat. Your liver, which often gets overwhelmed by visceral fat, starts to detox more efficiently. Energy levels rise because your metabolism isn't fighting internal inflammation anymore. Even your hormones begin to stabilize. But visceral fat is stubborn for a reason. Your body only lets go of it when it feels safe, not starved, not stressed, and not overworked. That's why extreme dieting often fails. It lowers weight but leaves visceral fat untouched. When visceral fat finally starts to burn, the first changes happen inside, long before you see them in the mirror. One of the earliest shifts is in hormone signaling. Visceral fat produces inflammatory hormones that block insulin and raise cortisol. As this fat begins to shrink, those signals weaken, allowing insulin to work properly again. Blood sugar levels stabilize, and sudden energy crashes start to disappear. Next, your organs regain efficiency. The liver is one of the most affected organs by visceral fat. When it's surrounded by fat, it struggles to regulate cholesterol and detoxify the blood. As visceral fat reduces, the liver becomes more responsive, improving fat metabolism and lowering triglyceride levels. This is why doctors often see better blood test results before dramatic physical changes. Another key shift happens in inflammation levels. Visceral fat releases inflammatory markers that keep the body in a constant low-grade stress state. When these markers drop, joint stiffness reduces, digestion improves, and even sleep quality gets better. Many people notice they wake up feeling more refreshed without changing their sleep routine. Your appetite regulation also improves. As visceral fat shrinks, leptin sensitivity starts to return. Leptin is the hormone that tells your brain you're full. When it works properly again, cravings decrease naturally, especially for sugary and processed foods. Eating becomes more controlled without forced willpower. Perhaps the most surprising change is in mental clarity. Chronic inflammation affects the brain as well. As visceral fat reduces, brain fog lifts, focus improves, and mood becomes more stable. This is why people often report feeling lighter mentally before seeing major physical transformation. Visceral fat doesn't respond to effort the way other fat does because it's tied directly to survival signals, not appearance. Your body only releases it when it feels safe. That safety comes from consistency, not extremes. When meals are regular, sleep is deep, stress is managed, and movement is gentle but frequent, the body slowly shifts out of emergency mode. One of the biggest triggers for visceral fat loss is lower cortisol over time. Short bursts of stress don't matter much, but chronic stress tells your body to protect the organs at all costs. When cortisol levels stay high, visceral fat stays locked in place. As cortisol drops through better sleep, walking, breathing, and balanced eating, the body finally gets permission to let this fat go. Another requirement is stable blood sugar. Visceral fat thrives when insulin is constantly spiking. When you eat balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, insulin becomes predictable. This stability signals to the body that food is available, and there is no need for emergency fat storage around the organs. Movement quality also matters more than intensity. Long periods of sitting send a message of stagnation. Gentle daily movement, walking, stretching. Light resistance improves circulation around the organs and increases fat-burning enzymes, specifically in visceral fat tissue. This is why people who walk daily often lose belly fat faster than those who only do intense workouts occasionally. Time is the final ingredient. Visceral fat is usually the last to arrive and the last to leave. Once the body feels consistently safe, the release happens steadily. Waist size reduces, posture improves, breathing becomes easier, and health markers shift dramatically. This isn't about pushing harder. It's about removing the signals that tell your body to stay in survival mode. Visceral fat is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's a silent, dangerous fat that affects your hormones, organs, and overall health. The good news is that it can be reversed naturally, but it requires patience, consistency, and the right signals to your body. By managing stress, improving sleep, stabilizing blood sugar, eating nutrient-rich foods, and incorporating gentle daily movement, your body finally feels safe enough to release this stubborn fat. The changes aren't just visible on the outside, they happen deep inside your organs, improving metabolism, reducing inflammation, stabilizing hormones, and boosting energy levels. Remember, visceral fat is smart. It protects your organs when the body feels threatened. But when your lifestyle signals safety, it slowly lets go, revealing a healthier, stronger, and more energetic version of you. Real transformation starts from the inside out. Focus on consistency over intensity, and your body will respond.